If you like Chainsaw Man, I think you're really gonna enjoy this manga. Suddenly, everyone's murdered! Hey guys, I am the Amanda Rogers and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about a new manga that I've started. It was suggested to me by a friend because I posted my reading and manga and fanfic challenge that I always do every month on my Instagram story, and they were like, hey, if you want something for October, I've got something just for you. So, I read the first volume of Deadman Wonderland. And I am obsessed. I posted that I was reading Deadman Wonderland on my Instagram stories, and somebody replied to it and told me that there's an anime apparently. Didn't even know that. Safe to say, I went into this knowing absolutely nothing. And I wouldn't have had it any other way, honestly. I haven't read all of it, obviously, because I just said I read volume 1. But if you haven't read it or watched the anime, stop, go read it, or watch it if you want, and then come back. Of course, I took some screenshots of panels that just, like, sat with me, you know? I was like, hello? Basically, I'm just gonna give you guys my thoughts on Volume 1. So it's set in the future. I don't remember what year they said, but it's apparently after a big earthquake, I believe it was. Like half of Tokyo is underwater now, so it's very devastating. So now they're trying to bring in more people, I think, to the city and stuff like that by having this big attraction. So they have the first fully publicly funded, I think, prison. But it's not a normal prison. It has attractions and rides and stuff like that, I guess. I don't really know how we got there, but that's okay. That's just the world we're in. It's confusing, and it's supposed to be. Ganta's confused. I'm confused. Yeah, we're in the same shoes. I can't remember his full name. But our main character is Ganta. Starts out with him in middle school, talking with his friends about what their school trip was going to be this year. And they were going to go to a prison. Turns out this prison is Deadman Wonderland, talking about how, like, he doesn't want to go to a prison because what kid wants to go to a prison for their school trip? And then suddenly, everyone's murdered! This guy, this red man, shows up outside their third-story window and just obliterates all of his friends. Mass murder. No explanation. It was 0 to 100 in like 2 panels flat, man. Like, I have to say though, the red man looks so fucking cool. Like, that was such a cool intro to this villain. He looks so badass. I've no idea what these little hexagon things going on around him are. The cape, the grime, the mask, the chains, the, like, I don't know, he looks like a cool villain. It looks so cool. Like, I knew immediately that this manga was going to be beautiful just by the first couple of pages. I was like, oh yeah, this is gorgeous. And then it immediately just brutally murders people. And I was like, okay. Just like with Chainsaw Man, I was immediately into it. Apparently I have a better time reading darker stories than actually watching them. So that's where I'm at. I don't know. So everyone is brutally murdered. And Ganta is the only one left alive. For a second you think that his friend Mimi is okay. And no. So the red man is actually holding just her head. So he's traumatized. Ganta is shot in the chest by some weird thing from the red man. There's no explanation for it. He thinks he's dying. I assumed he wasn't dying because he's our main character. But it's like some weird gem thing, I guess. I don't know. I haven't really gotten an explanation for that. But the important thing is that he was the only one left alive. So apparently the government took that as being guilt. He wakes up in the hospital and is immediately charged with mass murder. He's like 14 and they were like, yeah, the one kid with injuries and passed out with all of his dead friends around him was the one who did it. No questions asked. Okay. So he's sentenced to death. He's put on death row and he's sent to Deadman Wonderland. He was making it to the prison one way or another, and unfortunately he took the not fun route. We're introduced to this prison by more trauma. Who would have thought? This guard, I don't remember her name, but she's hot. The hot ones are always crazy. She's very attractive. Immediately slice somebody because they stepped out of line. Okay, so in the prison they're given like the very bare minimum to survive. A kid bumped into him and knocked him down, and then she said, that he stole something. And then we meet Shiro. Not really sure what's going on with Shiro, but she's adorable. She says that she's Ganta's friend. And we just kind of have to accept it because she is here to stay. That's all there really is to it. Don't know where she came from. Don't know who she really is. Don't know why she kind of talks like not in full sentences. There's really no backstory on Shiro. She just showed up and she's adorable. She's strong. She's interesting. Yeah, that's all it really is to it. The crazy guy running the prison and the prison guards talk about how Ganta is on death row and he's supposed to be killed, obviously. They say that there's a planned accident to happen so that he's crushed, and that's how they will carry out his death sentence. When that happens, it doesn't happen. For some reason, that where he was hit by the red man in the classroom comes back and somehow saves him. There's like some sort of light or something like that, laser, I don't know, comes out and breaks apart the thing that was supposed to crush him. He doesn't understand how or why. We don't really understand how or why, but we're like, okay. So the red man, like when he got hit in the chest by the red man, something was like inserted into him or activated within him or something. So because the accident failed, they're like, okay, we're not going to kill him by accident. I don't know what the plan really is from there. Like their plan is to still carry out the death sentence in some way, shape, or form, but how it will be carried out, I guess, is up to how they want to entertain themselves or something. So I guess that's going to be the trials that Ganta is going to be going through in this manga. Oh, okay. We're introduced to this new girl. She immediately judges him for being broke. He didn't know that there's like a money system in the prison, so he was just eating the regular rations instead of paying for food. So she's like, are you stupid? Kind of. I love the low quality panel of him. Like, he's just like... I thought it was really funny. We find out there's a money system within the prison, so makes sense why they can be all aggressive and stuff like that. And so that gets the prison to get them to do things to earn money and stuff like that. So there's obviously a hierarchy within the system based on money. Their money system is caste points. So since there's something of value and they're in a prison, there's going to be bad guys taking advantage of that, obviously. So you see that there's like kind of gangs and stuff that people are stealing from each other, forcing themselves into power through violence and who's surprised they're in a prison again. So, hello. So the first event that we witness in the prison is this race. The winner will receive 100,000 cast points, and all of the participants will receive an onpan? I don't know how to say it. Sweet treat, I guess. And that's got them. They're like, no matter what, I'm gonna get some treat, so let's do it. It's brought up like once or twice about this candy, and he's like, okay, well, who the hell cares? It's just candy. Turns out the candy is important. He finds out that the necklace that the prisoners are forced to wear, for those who are on death row or have a death sentence, there's a small amount of poison being injected into them at all times with the necklace. And if you don't eat one of the pieces of candy every 3 days, you will die. So basically the candy is the antidote. And one of those pieces of candies cost 100,000 cast points. He lost his first piece of candy. So if he doesn't get 100,000 cast points, he will die. So he has a reason to win the race. So they enter into the race. Shiro wants to do it because she wants to eat a treat with Ganta. They hiked up the skill level or whatever of the race to be highest it can go. So basically, people are full on dying. The audience believes that it's not real for some reason. People are being sliced in half, electrocuted, da-da-da-da-da. Ganta's like, oh my god, I'm going to freaking die. Like, one way or another, I'm either gonna die in this race or because I don't win the race and the poison. Like, so he's like, oh my god. Shiro's there just kind of saving his ass the entire time. He's like, why are you doing this? And she's like, because I want to eat a treat with you. Like, you're my friend. We switch point of views to see those who are watching the race. We see the girl who was with him in the cafeteria and was like, teased him, taught him about the cast thing, and then was like, oh, you're a piece of shit because he bowed down to the guy who is mean because he didn't want to die, because he's 14, has no idea what's going on, and is scared as shit. We also see Yu. Turns out his name is Yu, and he is the kid that ran into Ganta in the very beginning. He got sliced. He saw him in the infirmary and everything. So we've seen him a couple times. We're like, okay, so this kid is sticking around. And he seems really sweet. Someone else wanted to pay him back. So obviously he lent them money. He's like, I wish you good luck, you know, and everything. So we're like, okay, maybe Ganta's making good friends here. I love Shiro. She's adorable. I don't know what's going on with her, but I love her. Saving Ganta's ass, and he's just like, why are you doing this? She's like, because I want to eat anpan with you. Like, you're my friend. And you're just like, okay. And then Ganta proves to be a good kid because he saved Shiro instead of winning the race. Instead of grabbing the ball at the end, he grabs Shiro to save her, which is yay. But that means that no one won. They just get the anpan, don't get the 100,000. So he's like, I'm going to die. Turns out Yu is not a good guy. Who saw that coming? Apparently not me while I was reading this. Since no one won, the kid who owed him money couldn't pay him back. So he's like, I'll take it. So he chopped off his ear and took his earring. And he was like, okay, this is part of what you owe me. So we find out he's not a good kid. I wish I could remember his name, but we find out that the guy running the prison paid Yu to get in contact with Ganta, you know, keep an eye on him. So that's why he keeps running into him. Switch point of views again to see the guy who is running the Deadman Wonderland prison. Turns out he's basically able to do whatever he wants because he's using Deadman Wonderland to house this wretched egg, which we assume is a very monstrous, dangerous person thing, maybe. And right as we find out that the wretched egg is in Deadman Wonderland and all of this other stuff, we find out that the wretched egg escaped. So that's great. And it's at the same time that Yu is being a good friend to Ganta. And he gives him the candy. He's like, oh, like, it's really no problem. Here you go. Ganta says, you know, I don't know how I'm going to be able to repay you. And we know that Yu is not a good guy, and he takes repayments seriously. So we're like, shit. He's like, you know, we're going to be good friends. And then immediately switch to destruction. I don't know, I really like the pacing of that. I love the way that they did that. It was really cool. When the wretched egg escaped, it caused a lot of death and destruction, and it looks pretty familiar, I'm not gonna lie. It looks a lot like that classroom that Ganta experienced. And I wonder why. Because it's the red man. So the wretched egg is the red man. How he got out in the first place to kill all of Ganta's classmates, don't know. Why he got out to kill all of Ganta's classmates, don't know. Why he's getting out now, don't know. How he's getting out now, don't know. There's a lot of unanswered questions, and I want the answers. He looks really cool though, I'm not gonna lie. And he's like, okay. Really cool looking villain. I'm all for it. I don't care. So turns out the red man was going back for Ganta again. Who's surprised? You know, he's making a friend in the prison with Yu. He is attacked by the red man. He's like, why is the red man here? Boom, 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 boom. And red man kills a lot of people, you know, causes death and destruction all around. I loved this panel where you see Ganta's eye, like the outline of his eye, like you're inside of his eyeball looking out and seeing the classroom, seeing his point of view of that memory of the classroom, and then coming back into what's happening now. And it's the exact same thing happening he's having this flashback while this death and destruction is happening again. He's like, he's freaking out. He's like, oh my god, this is happening again. Why does this keep happening to me? The red man calls him Woodpecker. No idea why, but he says, hello, Woodpecker. And you're like, there's so much more to this, and I don't know what it is, and I want to know. Love this panel of Ganta that, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like the crazy eyes panel, basically. It's intense, it's cool, and you know that something crazy is about to fucking happen, and it does. He somehow whips out this power. No idea what it is, where it came from, what's happening, but in this moment of desperation, something happens, like with his hand, with the blood or something like that, and he's able to shoot out this power at the red man and stop everything in a way, I guess. And as this is all happening, we're seeing the perspective of the guy running the prison, and he's like excited. He's like, there's two branches of sin for a moment. Like, so whatever the branches of sin are, we know that the red man is one, and when he was using that power, Ganta was another. Don't know what that means. Don't know what it really entails, but I want to know more. Like, it's so cool. And he calls it the birth of a new resident. So we're like, okay. As Ganta is passed out on the ground, he's beaten up, he's bloody, he's no idea what really happened. He says, welcome to the stage of blood and carnage, to the real Deadman Wonderland. Okay. I am hooked, y'all. What is the real Deadman Wonderland? What is going on? What is going on in this prison? I don't know, but I want to find out. So that was kind of all of volume 1 of Deadman Wonderland. So it's the first 4 chapters. I'm so excited to read the rest. I really love the pacing of this story so far. I love the way that the tone changes in the panels. It's happened a couple of times that I really like it. It's like the main theme of the whole page is like a dark theme. You know, there's like death or destruction or gore and stuff like that, a dark theme. And then it'll have a panel switching completely 180 to a happy moment. And, or the opposite, the whole panel or the whole page will be happy things. You know, he's actually like laughing, enjoying things. And then one panel will be like, no, 180, flipping the script. We're going to be talking about death, destruction, everything like that. The really quick flipping of tone was beautiful. I don't know, it really, I liked it a lot. I liked the pacing, I liked the tone changes, I liked the characters are gorgeous, the action is gorgeous, the gore is gorgeous, like it's just, I like it. It's so cool. I don't know. It's so freaking cool. The manga isn't very long. It's only 58 chapters, so I should be able to finish it within October. And I'm planning on watching the anime after I read it. If you guys want an update on when I finish Deadman Wonderland and watch the anime, let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to give it to you guys. I would like to say that if you like Chainsaw Man, I think you're really going to enjoy this manga. At least I am so far. It kind of gives me the same vibes in that it's a storyline that we don't know what's really happening, but we just have to go along with it. It's a lot of graphic stuff in like death scenes and stuff like that, but it's cool. I don't know, it's not like, it's not gory in a way of it's being like gross. It's gory in an action way, I guess, at least to me, that it's, when reading it, it's actually enjoyable to me rather than like traumatizing. I'm really enjoying it. If you guys have other mangas that you recommend, let me know. I would love to get some more on my shelf. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!